Hey people, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a question that plagues many a painter. Did you pick the wrong white paint color? And if you're asking me, and these are for your walls, every white is the wrong choice. I'm just kidding. Honestly, I've been there when I was painting houses on a regular basis, staring at endless swatches, and then finally you pick a white paint color, you put it on the walls, and something kind of feels weird about it, feels off. I get it, I totally do. But fear not, because in this video, I'm gonna equip you with the knowledge to identify a white paint gone wrong, and more importantly, I'll tell you how to fix it. And I'll also just give you some of my favorite white paint colors to use, because I think that's also handy for some people. Today's sponsor is us. ThePaintPeople.com is your go-to destination for quality paint and paint supplies. We're more than just a paint store, we are your partner in bringing color to life. Visit our website today and discover a world of colors, quality, and convenience. And as a thank you for supporting us on YouTube, use coupon code JAMES5 for 5% off your order. So let's start by talking about signs of a mismatched white. The dreaded white washout. Here are some red flags to watch out for. Number one, the room feels cold and sterile and lifeless. This is a classic case of picking a white with too cool of an undertone, usually from gray and of course blue. Anytime you have white paint colors that are cool leaning, they can really dominate a space, especially ones that don't have a lot of natural light, and can make it just feel like, I don't know, hospital vibes, or even like you're in a freezer. Like, it's that bad. Number two, your walls kind of look dingy and dirty, and this can sometimes happen if you've chosen a white that has a bit of a warm yellow undertone, especially if it's clashing with the existing lighting or your furniture. So if you have that gut feeling where the walls just look a bit kind of muddy, even though they're supposed to be white, perhaps they're a bit too yellow or warm leaning. Number three, the other colors in the room look kind of off and weird. This can sometimes happen if you use a really bright white or a stark white that is completely void of any colors, and it can make any bolder colors appear that much harsher in your room, or even just darker objects. The contrast will be so severe. Let's talk about understanding undertones. The key to a happy white paint color marriage is understanding what's happening underneath the surface. These are those subtle hints of color that peek through a seemingly pure white. Not every white is created equal. I keep saying that, but it's true. Warmer whites often have that yellow or creamy undertone, and those cooler whites can have that gray or that blue. You really need to be aware of what kind of white you've chosen. And if you're hopeless when it comes to undertones and color, or legally colorblind, which is totally valid, then maybe ask a friend or even the paint professional at your local paint store if they can help identify what kind of white it is. You can even grab a white piece of paper from your printer to give you a bit of control against your white paint color, and that can help determine whether it's leaning a little more warm or cool. And as always, testing is key. Here's the golden rule. Never judge a white by its swatch alone. Even if you have that piece of paper I told you about, it's still not going to be a tried and true method for everyone to determine exactly what kind of color it is. Ultimately, you're just going to have to sample the paint color itself, get a large poster board of some sort, move those boards around the room at different times of day to see how the light affects the color, and do all this before you paint. If you've already made the white paint mistake, then don't make the same mistake twice with your next white paint color. So let's talk about fixing a white mistake. You've identified a white faux pas, but don't despair, because I do have some options for you. Number one, embrace an accent wall. If the white is too bold, consider painting just one wall in the room and pairing it with something maybe a little bit softer, perhaps an off-white or a lighter neutral, just to sort of cut down on the monotony. And that way you only need to paint one wall instead of four, potentially, and it'll just soften the look a little bit. It'll help bridge the gap between the bright white on your walls and then everything else in the room. Number two is, of course, repaint with a different white. This might be the obvious choice solution, but choose wisely, because you've already seen how difficult white can be, so really consider the factors that led you astray the first time. Number three is keep the walls white and add warmth with furniture and decor. So if your white leans cool, maybe introduce some warm wood tones to help balance things out. You can also add some throw pillows in to help make things feel really cozy. But usually if your problem is the yellowy white wall thing, probably should repaint, based on my experience. Now, some of my current favorite white paint colors to use on the walls from different paint companies include Behr's Blank Canvas, which is a recent color of the year. Love that color. Sherwin-Williams Alabaster, which is just a tried and true classic color. I love it on the walls. Even as a trim color, it's fine. And then for a brighter, maybe a touch less beigey option, Steam by Benjamin Moore would be a great choice for something really clean, stark, and modern. Choosing the perfect white can feel overwhelming, but with a little knowledge and these handy tips, you can banish the wrong white blues forever. If you have any paint woes of your own to share with me, let me know in the comment section down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more paint awesomeness.